Welcome back. It's another Creaky Bloody Gammas battle report. Let's get on with it.
Alright, welcome to round 3 of Warhammer, and we've got Chaos Dwarves again. So I hadn't faced Chaos Dwarves, and now we've got 2 in the one tournament. There's the map, one of the standard maps, 6 pieces of terrain. You get an extra 100 for killing the general in this one. Still a lot of open space in the middle. So let's have a quick look at the Chaos Dwarf list. He's got a Hobgoblin Khan who's going to go with a little unit of Wolf Riders. A Seneschal Battle Standard with the Lamasu's Beard, whatever that does. A Sorcerer Prophet. A Bull Centaur Torok with the Ogre Blade, so we want to avoid him, I think. A huge unit of 24 Infernal Guard. 450 points in that unit, so I guess the couple of characters in there, so that'll be a very expensive unit. You can see it in the middle there. 3 Bull Centaurs, the Iron Demon, so we've got to try and kill another Iron Demon, which we managed to do in round 1. So the Poison Archers will have a job there. We'll see if they can get the job done this time. So we'll just have a quick look at the army and the deployment. So that's there's the Bull Centaurs deployed in the woods. We'll have a quicker look here. Have I got video here of the... there they are. There's the Hobgoblin Khan in with the Wolf Riders. There's the Iron Demon. And there's his huge unit there. Well, his army seems tiny because there's so many points tied up in that particular unit. And there's the Bull Centaurs with the boss there. He's got the Ogre Blade. In there's the Battle Standard and the Sorcerer are in that unit as well. I don't know which one's which. They're all wearing their silly hats there. And that's about it. So his army's very tiny. Now, I'll have a look at my deployment. Necrosphinx out on the flank. I've got my shooting in the middle. Some swarms at the back. Kiefer and the other Necrosphinx on the other flank. And I've got the snakes and a scorpion in ambush. So my plan is to, well, try and take down the Iron Demon before it gets to me. So my shooting is all here with my level 2. He's got Travel Mystical Pathway, so if the Iron Demon does get closer, I can sack some wounds off the swarms and hopefully get them out of trouble. And then I aim to swing around the right flank over that building. So I tend to want to swing around here and try and get rid of the Iron Demon before I maybe attack his big block. And I do have Miasmic Mirage on Kiefer again, so I'm going to try and get that spell off this time, not miscast, and try and slow down his Bull Centaurs. So that's the plan. Shoot the Iron Demon, slow down the Bull Centaurs, and then surround the big block and maybe have a crack at it later on. We'll see what happens. And just in case you haven't seen the other 2 rounds of this little tournament report, I'll just quickly go over my army again. It's 1750 points of Mortuary Cult, and we've got the Throne of Skulls restrictions. So I've got a level 3 Leech Priest. We're not allowed to have a level 4. So he's level 3, Talisman of Protection, Serpent Staff, and Law Familiar. 6 Ushabti with Great Bows. And I'm not convinced they're any good yet. But anyway, we'll see what happens in this battle. A couple of Scorpions, one with Ambush and from, Terrors Below. 2 Necrosphinxes, 30 Archers with a Standard. My level 2 with the Serpent, Amulet of the Serpent, so he gives them poison attacks. A couple of Swarms, so I can sack some wounds off them to get some bonuses to cast. The archers will be firing 30 poison shots, hopefully. My Necro Serpents, the knights on the back, you just have to ignore them. They're not there, so I'm just using them as my Necro Serpents. And that's it, 1750 points of Mortuary Cult. So I've got a level 3 and a level 2, and a little bit of shooting and some monsters.
Turn 1.
Right, so the evil stunties, turn 1, the Iron Demon moved up. It's got this steam point thing where it can move an extra D6 and still shoot and so on. The Bull Centaurs are going to come out of the woods. So I've got my right flank there to try and sweep around and keep the bull centaurs, well, out of combat, hopefully, until we can weaken them. I don't want to... Kiefer on his dragon doesn't want to be fighting the bull centaur chief with his ogre blade. Just checking the dispel range. I think they've got demonology, so we can really soup up that little unit in the middle. And he does a little bit of shooting, doesn't do much damage. And then on my turn, I do more damage to myself. So I'm sweeping around that flank. So my right flank, the Necrosphinx and the Scorpion have swept around there. I did a bit of shooting at the Iron Demon and did nothing, I don't think, on turn 1. I did more damage to myself by taking 3 wounds off the swarms. And I moved the archers back. The skelly archers have gone back because I'm a bit worried about the Iron Demon and I didn't do any damage to it. I've got this Necrosphinx trying to keep the Iron Demon honest. So if he comes out from behind that building, I can maybe charge it with the Necrosphinx. That's about it. So yeah, so my plan is in action. We'll see what happens. And I've done more damage to myself on turn 1. So as we go into turn 2, he's kept his hobgoblins back here. They're just going to shoot at my Necrosphinx. And actually they do a couple of wounds to it, which isn't good. And I've done a couple of wounds to the Ushabti as well, but I've kept Kiefer in range so I could raise up the Ushabti and raise up the swarms. I don't have a battle standard, so that's what I've learnt in my games. I probably need... You can make one of the mortuary priests the battle standard, which allows undead to re-roll those Arise leadership tests.
Turn 2.
Right, so turn 2, and quite a lot happened here. He did advance with his Iron Demon and his big block of Fireglaves, and I think he shot a few of the skeletons or shot some of the Ushabti, did a few wounds. But as he moved up, I could see the flank of the big unit, and his hobgoblins here, these little guys here, had shot my Necrosphinx and done 2 or 3 wounds to him, a couple of wounds to him, I think. So I thought I can't hang around here anymore. I didn't want to go into the Iron Demon with the Necrosphinx. So I went into the flank. I thought I'll have a crack at the big unit, see if I can just slow him down. And my archers put a couple of wounds onto the Iron Demon. They travel mystical pathway out of the threat of the Iron Demon. And then I got my Asmic Mirage. Finally, I got this spell off on the Bull Centaurs. So they're not charging anyone. So they're not a threat for at least until next turn. And so maybe I can win that combat with the Necrosphinx and then put his big block in an awkward position because I've got the other Necrosphinx on the other flank with the Scorpion. So the Bull Centaurs aren't a problem for the moment, and I don't want to go in there and fight that guy with the Ogre Blade quite yet. And I think I did 3 or 4 wounds to the Iron Demon, so that might slow it down a little bit. Yeah, so he's got 4 wounds on that there, so whether I think he might be counting up or down, I don't know. But anyway, I've done some wounds. I've done 3 wounds or done 4 wounds to the Iron Demon. Maybe 3, and he's counting down. Who knows? Everyone does it different, and I've got little wound counters. I count up. Anyway, so my Necrosphinx has taken 2 or 3 wounds, and he's into the flank. They've got a lot of static combat res, and I think they're stubborn, so he's got to decide. I do win the combat, because I kill a couple and flank, etc., and so I think he tosses up whether he's going to use his stubborn or decide it's probably better for him to fall back in good order. So it's a good idea. So it's a good move in this case, because if he falls back in good order, he'll be able to reform and face the threats that are coming from the other side. So instead of just giving ground, I think he decides to do the roll and fall back. Yeah, so he reforms facing away from my Necrosphinx, who failed to catch up to them by a couple of inches, because after they reformed and ran away, I rolled really bad for the Necrosphinx, and he couldn't catch them. And the Bull Centaurs are stuck. Yeah, so if I can keep them out of play for a while, I can concentrate on attacking that the big block in the middle. And maybe the Iron Demon, if I can keep him out of play as well. So I'm just going to decide to concentrate on the block in the middle while the Bull Centaurs are tied up with their confusion of Miasmic Mirage.
Turn 3.
Okay, so turn 3, his Hobgoblins are going after my archers, and his Bull Centaurs, my ambushing Scorpion came on as well. Those Hobgoblins are going to end up fighting the archers, and all the Bull Centaurs can do is really reform. They can't charge anyone. So kept them out of play for a turn, so that is a powerful spell if you can get it off, and it took me 3 games to actually get some use out of it. Then the Iron Demon turns around to threaten the Necrosphinx from the side and rear, so that'll be bad for me later on. And then in my turn, I decide to go for it, so I send the 2 Necrosphinxes and Kiefertep on his dragon go into the big block of Chaos Dwarf warriors with the Fireglaves and the Battle Standard and the Sorcerer Prophet in there and everything. And it's going to take us a couple of rounds, but we're eventually going to destroy them or run them down or something. So that's pretty much the end of them.
Turn 4.
Okay, so we're into turn 4, and the Hobgoblin Khan's still alive out there with his little unit. And they're going to be tussling with the archers. Now, the archers shoot at the Iron Demon again. We get it down to a couple of wounds left, so we're whittling him down, but we're taking our time with this combat here, so the Iron Demon's going to get a charge into that Necrosphinx in a minute. So we're fighting the Fireglaive unit is just going to get munched here over a couple of turns, and I think I'll get off my Spectral Doppelganger with the Serpent Staff, etc., and we end up outnumbering them 2-1, I think, and we chase them off in that direction. So we all try and chase, or maybe I tried to reform with the Kiefertep, but it's the end of the big unit with the BSB and so on, and the Bull Centaurs, Miasmic Mirage will drop off soon, I think, and then my ambushers might come on. All right, let's see what happens in turn 5.
Turn 5.
Right, turn 5, and the Iron Demon goes in. So finally we see an Iron Demon get a charge. I've tried to kill it, but it's been circling around there in front of my archers. And my Necro Serpents have come on. I didn't get to use from beneath the sand, so just to bring them on over there. I couldn't quite fit them to get them in range of the big Fireglaive unit earlier on. The Hobgoblin Khan has finally charged into the archers here. I got a couple of them in stand and shoot. And they're actually going to do okay there for a little while, but the numbers of the archers will just eventually wear them down. And the Iron Demon's going to kill that Necrosphinx. And so he's going to get some points there for the Necrosphinx. And then I'm going to clean up the Iron Demon with Kiefertep on his dragon. So that'll be the end of the Iron Demon. And then my snakes and everybody goes into the Bull Centaurs. The Ushabti are still alive. And so that's pretty much the end of the game. We sort of call it here at the end of turn 5, I think. I've lost my Necrosphinx. He's lost his big unit, the dragon. Kiefertep's going to kill the Iron Demon. And then there's just the hero Bull Centaur. And he's going to get killing blowed by the Necrosphinx. And there's only going to be a couple of the Hobgoblin Khan left alive at the end of the game. So it's pretty much a disaster for the Chaos Dwarves, I think. There's a couple of 6s in the middle there. That was the killing blow that I did on the Bull Centaur Chieftain. So finally I got a killing blow off, which was good. I think I got a couple of them off in this game. And then we just sort of call it quits there because he's only got the 2 little guys hiding near the building there. So it's a big win to the Tomb Kings as we killed the general, grabbed a couple of banners and everything like that. And that was the end of the little friendly 3-game tournament. And I think we finished up coming about 6th out of about 30 people. So it was a good 1 day out, great venue, great organisation again. Thanks, guys, and I'll see you at the next one, which will be in March. And we're actually going to be playing 2,000 points in the next tournament. So that's great. I prefer 2,000 points. You get a real army, or you get real characters, etc. And I think we're still using the Throne of Skulls restrictions, so we won't see any big Chaos Dragons, but I expect to see some decent armies there. So thanks for watching. So 2 wins and a loss in the tournament. All right, that's it. Bye for now.
Well, that was different. Yep, lousy, but different.